Alright, folks, welcome to the first episode of Beer, Chai, and the Future.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Alright. So that's a good start to the day already, huh?
Oh, for sure. See, Mike and I talking over each other. You're gonna see a lot of that as the episodes roll on. Dude, so how did we come up with the name?
So we came up with the name because it's a mashup kind of things that potentially represent our culture. So a lot of beer drinkers in the United States, maybe a lot of chai drinkers in India. So we thought that was a good way to kind of represent both of us. And we're going to be talking about the future.
Yeah, so the channel is here to help you manage change driven by technology, more specifically. And guys, like, we feel the pressure of change. Like, we were just getting set up with our first video recording here, and Mike and I just went down some real problems setting up our audio and video, and it's just a representative of how it is when you actually use a new technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why we're creating this channel, is because especially in the green industries right now, technology is changing so quickly. And so the idea behind this channel is to help you kind of keep up with it in a very fun, easy to digest way.
Yeah, man. There are a lot of challenges that the businesses face. There is labor, there is competition, and somehow tech itself has become a challenge, right? Like, you see other companies using it, you're like whether you should use it or not. I mean, people might get this sense of deprivation even looking at a CTO working at a landscaping company.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a CTO position isn't something that even existed in the industry a few years ago and is still not seen that much. It's something that we're trying to change for sure, but tech-focused roles in the industry just haven't been a high priority, but that's rapidly changing. And so that's also what we're going to try to do, is explain why it's important to have someone that's focused on technology in your company.
Yeah, look, everybody feels the change here. Everybody feels the pain. You're not alone here. Some people might seem they are doing better, but it's simply because they started earlier than you started with it. And we are here to help you with that gap, like help you kick it off.
And that's the great thing about technology, is you can catch up very quickly by doing a few things and doing those few things very well. So if you have this feeling of, oh no, I'm being left behind, or people are so far in front of me, it's okay. It doesn't take very long to catch up. It just takes a little bit of focus and to make sure that you pick the right things so that you get off on a good start.
Yeah, man, intentionality is the key here. I think a good thing to keep in mind is, like, if someone adopted, let's say, a production software 6 years ago, in that 6 years, that production software would have gone through a lot of change, and they would have had to cope with it. Now, when you start using production software today, you can start directly using something that's latest. And basically, you will make the same jump that they did, like over a period of 6 years, you will make it over the period of 1 year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about that a lot when we talk about adoption, and I'm sure everyone's seen the adoption curve where some people jump in really early and they're the early adopters. They want the brand new shiny thing. But the bell curve goes up to the top to where it becomes mass adopted, and you're okay as long as you start to adopt things within that bell curve. What you don't want to be is on the backside of that bell curve where the newer technology is coming out and you're just starting to adopt the existing technologies.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of benefits here, really. I think the biggest one is just having a more sorted, organized workspace when you use technology. I mean, any friction that you feel, that should go away. And I mean, it's not like once you use technology, it's like it's a panacea. It's like it's going to solve everything. So that shouldn't be the expectation either.
No, that's a great point, because a lot of people, I think, feel that technology is just the silver bullet, but technology and creating automation only highlight either the things that you're doing really well or the things that you're not doing so well. They're not going to fix it. It's just going to shine a brighter light on it. And that's the idea, that hopefully when that light shines on it, you can remove that friction from your systems to make it a lot easier.
Yep. And guys, you can trust us with this. Look, we feel the change happening. We feel it in our companies. We see it in companies we work with. And we are basically in the same boat. And so if we are feeling it, we can really empathize with what you are feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we both have our own experiences with this. I mean, I've been in the industry since I was 15. I came up, I started on golf courses, saw it all happen, and
Mowing, by the way.
Yeah.
Mowing, you started off mowing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I ran a crew and was driving a truck, and that helped a lot because now I understand what it's like to be in the field and the things that I get to create today. Man, I wish that I would have had them back then because I just see how much more, how much easier life is when you have some of these tools. So, but you have a similar story, right?
Yeah, man. So I saw the industry from a GIS space, like I was in the using imagery and doing mapping, that sort of a space, realized that the real use case is here in the landscaping industry and sort of switched or pivoted to it. And the thing is, over these last 2 years, when I started off doing it, it was like, yeah, bright, shiny, innovative idea. And over the last 2 years, we have seen how other companies do the same thing, and then it's not innovative anymore. But then each company does it in its own fashion. And like someone who tries to innovate on a constant basis, it's like you have to accept change as a constant. Like that's the only thing that doesn't change is like it's changing, right? And so you have to be on the edge and like just get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely. It is certainly not easy, and that's also part of this channel is we're going to share the challenges that we have, that we've been through this and we understand what it's like. So as well as giving some suggestions and directions that we think that you should go, we're going to share why we think that. And we've both used a lot of the technology that we're going to talk about, either directly or indirectly. So we have a lot of experience with it. So that's where we're coming from.
Absolutely, guys. Our intention here is to help you get into the mindset of evaluating different tech stacks. When I say tech stack, I mean combination of technologies that you put together to accomplish a workflow. So if you're looking at sales funnels, it's got its own tech stack, starting from your ads on social media to your website, to your CRM, to email tools and so on. So that's a tech stack. And so you've got different workflows in place like hiring people, managing operations, finance. And so you can have technologies on each of these spaces. Different businesses have had different focuses, like someone has really updated their sales process, someone has really marched ahead with the hiring process. And we want to sort of bring you the best of the world, put it in front of you, and help you make a good decision with what you should choose at what spot, how to make a good decision in the process.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point too, that there are a lot of different departments in your company and they may not all be on the same level. They may not all have the use of technology equivalent across all those departments. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about and try to get you thinking about is if you're doing really well in sales, what are some of those things that you could do for operations or for HR that are helping you in sales that you could easily transfer over to those different departments?
Absolutely. Look, the gap can be within your company, one department using it, the others not using it. You don't want that gap to be too wide. Also, we see that there are companies using technologies and companies not using technologies as a practice. And so the gap between them is also widening. That gap would show up in revenue, consolidation, and so on. And, landscaping industry is the beauty about it is like anyone can pick up a mower and get, fulfill that American dream. And if that gap keeps on widening, that this beauty will go away, and we don't really want that to happen.
That's it, folks. Thank you so much for listening in. We will see you next time. Have a good one.